In February of this year, I reviewed the Creative Sound Blaster X4, and I thought it was okay-ish. Feature-packed, yes, but the sound quality didn't blow me away. I thought it was mediocre at best. Here in the Netherlands it's about €120-ish, and for that price it's a bit too expensive for what you get. Now, while doing research, I read a lot of people stating that the X4's predecessor, the X3, is far better than the X4, and the reason being that the deck used in the X3 is supposed to be better. And then I saw the X3 secondhand on my favorite website, and this one, and here it is. So to put it into the discussion, here's a side-by-side comparison. Now, before we head off, I have to mention that it's 30 degrees Celsius here in my recording studio. So it's a bit hot in here, so if I turn all sweaty, you know why. First, a small recap of the X4. This one has a Cirrus Logic digital to analog converter, discrete 7.1 analog output, headphone and mic jacks, optical in, optical out, Super X-Fi and SmartCom software. Now, in my tests, as I said before, it was average, slightly veiled. The mic input was functional but not amazing. The driver interface was nice, effective, and it worked great. But overall it just felt too overpriced for what it delivered. The write mark results in direct mode were distinctly underwhelming. The frequency response stood out as very good, which means that the device can handle a wide range of frequencies without significant loss or distortion. But that's where the good news ends. Other key metrics such as noise level, total harmonic distortion and dynamic range delivered only average scores. In fact, 2 categories even returned outright poor results. Now, while this is not catastrophically bad, it was disappointing for a device that claims to deliver high performance audio. I genuinely expected better. And now the X3. The internet says it sounds better, but why? Now, that's because it uses the AKM AK4377 digital to analog converter instead of the Cirrus Logic the X4 uses. Now, like with beers, everyone has their favorite tastes. I love German beers, but my friends prefer Dutch beers. And this is also the case for digital to analog converters. And in this concept, I mean the actual chip, not the complete device. AKM is often preferred by listeners who value musicality and warmth. There are, of course, others, like ESS, which appeals to those who prioritize precision and clarity. The Texas Instruments / Burr Browns, they have a more natural, relaxed signature. And older relics like the Wolfson with a warm, almost vintage-like sound. And in the X4 there's the Cirrus Logic, which has a reputation for being clean, natural, almost boring sound. Now, you may wonder why there is a change in the digital to analog converter, as the device itself is almost identical. Now, the main reason is there was a big fire in the AKM plant, and the sound equipment manufacturers had to quickly look elsewhere for other decks. Creative found the Cirrus Logic deck, and that's all because they have a long-standing relationship. Now that we have a better understanding of which deck is used, what other similarities and differences are there between the X3 and the X4? Now here's a complete overview of the differences and similarities. The X3 was released in 2019, the X4 in 2021. And these are all the differences. The differences aren't that big. I mean, okay, the deck is a bit different. The X3 only has optical output and the X4 has in and output. The SmartComs kit isn't supported in the X3 but is in the X4. For Super X-Fi modes, they are the same, only the X4 has the X-Fi Battle mode. Another big difference is the price. You can get the X3 for 95 to 110 euros and the X4 130 to 150 euros. So the differences aren't that big. And in my opinion, the X4 is more of a necessary refresh of the X3 rather than an evolution, let alone a revolution. And that leads us to right, Mark. How do these two external digital to analog converters compare to one another? Because that's what you're here for, aren't you? So let's take a look at those results. So to give you the quick answer, yes, the X3 is slightly better. So there's the answer. But wait, before you go to any other videos on my channel, yes, it has a cleaner output, less distortion, marginally better dynamic range. But here's the thing, it won't transform your listening experience. It's not a new level of wow. When trying to figure out which one actually sounded better, I was blindfolded by the wife and did a blind test. Could I hear a difference? And the answer is no, I couldn't. They sounded so similar. I even wondered if the wife really did swap between the two or just the X3 just to test me. And while being blindfolded, my mind wandered off to knobs, as one does. But what about other large knobs? Something like the EPOS GSX 1000, marveled by gamers. It has a large volume knob, a sleek touchscreen, a proprietary 7.1 surround sound mode that works with no drivers and even on some consoles. It's incredibly popular among FPS gamers for its supposed directional audio. I did a review about it a long time ago and I wasn't impressed at all. Inside it uses the Connextent CX208-33 USB audio codec. Definitely not a high-end deck. Now this is the same kind of chip used in the USB DAWs and gaming headsets. Mic input is handled by a Connextent CX207-45 and designed for low-cost, low-power devices. In short, it's not built for audio quality, it's built for convenience and positional gaming performance. So how does this perform compared to the X3 and X4? Will it beat those? Okay, yes, the GSX 1000 is slightly better than the X4 in some ways. It has a cleaner noise floor, slightly better distortion numbers, and a wider stereo image than the X4. And last but not least, I have this relic, the Terratec Aureon X-Fire 8.0 HD, also with a knob, although the smallest of the set, but size doesn't matter, does it, ladies? Now, back in the day I bought this for a laugh. I didn't expect anything from this. A USB sound card from the Vista era? Well, surely this would be junk. Now, in my video I wasn't too enthusiastic about it, but as it turns out, this old 7.1 DAC is seriously good. The driver interface is ancient, but you really don't need it. I would even suggest that you don't install anything. And yes, it's hit and miss if you use it on a USB 3.0 socket, but if it does work, it's mostly plug and play. There's no gaming DSP, no scout mode, nor Super X-Fi, no smart comms, and I'm happy about that. And in testing it absolutely dominated the X3, the X4 and the GSX 1000. And that's because it has a cleaner output than the X4, the X3 and the GSX 1000. I measured lower distortion, meaning less harmonic coloration, a more transparent sound, lower noise, which makes quiet scenes and music passages feel more open and hiss-free, better stereo separation with crosstalk performance that's well into the high-end DAC territories. So what makes the Terratec so good? Inside you will find a C-Media CM8828 USB audio controller paired with a CM6620 digital to analog, analog to digital chip. Now these are the same chips used in some high-end sound cards, like those from Asus and HD Omega. Now this setup is far beyond a typical USB audio dongle. It's more like an external version of a proper internal sound card, and the results prove it. Sure, it lacks all the modern software bells and whistles, but in terms of raw performance, this thing crushes the opposition. Now, it's the kind of device that you forget it even exists until it blows past modern products in every measurable way. So what did we learn? The X4 is flexible but average in sound, but it has good driver support and a great feature set. The X3 sounds better thanks to its AKM deck, and it's probably the best balance of features and audio quality for most people. The GSX 1000 is convenient, gamer friendly and good at what it's designed for, but it's not a hi-fi device. And the Terratec X-Fire, well, despite being a legacy product, it delivered the cleanest signal of all. If you care about audio quality and don't mind skipping the software extras, it's a real surprise. So what started as a simple test between the X3 and the X4, it turned out into something else entirely. Yes, the X3 is a little cleaner than the X4, and yes, the X4 gives you more ports and features like optical input and smart comms. So if you had to choose between the two, get the X3 for better audio, get the X4 for more flexibility. And the GSX 1000, honestly, it's not worth it. It's convenient and good looking, but at twice the price it delivers half the performance. If you care about audio quality, just skip it. But the surprise winner, the quiet assassin, is the Terratec X-Fire. No software, no presets, no hype, just an old school USB deck with great internals and a ridiculously clean output. So if you can find one secondhand, cheap and in good shape, buy it, use it, keep it. It's built like a tank, sounds like a studio interface and beats all the others where it counts. So thank you for making it all the way to the end of this sweaty video, and I'd like to see you in the next one. See you then, bye bye!